Michael Jordan just unleashed a shocking revelation that resonated throughout the entire NBA.
My silence ends now. Nikola is more of a GOAT candidate than LeBron.
And that is only a small piece of the puzzle. Today, I will meticulously analyze everything Jordan stated, pinpoint the exact motivations behind his comments, and strategically contrast the careers of Jokic and LeBron using angles you have definitely never encountered. Prepare yourself, because by the time this video concludes, you will realize how Jokic is subtly overturning every assumption you held about who truly commands the NBA, and why LeBron's claim to the GOAT title might be fundamentally flawed. When the single greatest basketball player who ever lived publicly declares you are next in line for the throne, there is truly no need for further debate. MJ delivered the message clearly and forcefully.
My silence ends now. Nikola is more of a GOAT candidate than LeBron.
And honestly, MJ is absolutely correct. Because Jokic is not simply having a great season, he is delivering one of the most bewilderingly dominant seasons ever witnessed. This overwhelming success is precisely why even MJ could not remain silent. As of the conclusion of last season, Jokic was averaging 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists across 70 games. That performance alone instantly placed him in an exclusive club, as only Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook had ever maintained a triple-double average for an entire season. And now, Jokic has firmly joined that legendary company. But his performance this year is even more astonishing. Currently, he is putting up approximately 29.6 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 11.1 assists, while shooting a phenomenal 62.6% from the field. In terms of scoring volume paired with shooting efficiency, he is mastering both metrics without ever forcing a shot. Advanced metrics make this superiority crystal clear. His player efficiency rating, PER, and estimated plus-minus numbers are among the highest ever recorded by any player in league history. Furthermore, he is not just accumulating impressive individual statistics, he is fundamentally elevating his entire team's capabilities. Denver's on-off court statistics prove this completely. When Jokic is directing play, the Nuggets boast a robust plus 5.3 net rating. The team is noticeably quicker, smarter, and operates with greater consistency. This is not by accident. He is literally the entire offensive system. Remove Jokic, and the team's performance instantly plummets, dropping to a minus 4.5 net rating. What is even more remarkable is that he achieves all this while completely ignoring the hype machine. There are no flashy promotional campaigns, no self-produced documentaries, and zero social media stunts. He simply shows up, delivers a line like 30 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, and calmly walks off the court. That focused energy feels entirely different when contrasted with players who are busy constructing public narratives about themselves before they even perform, especially common among the new generation who prioritize being celebrities first and basketball players second. Jokic requires none of that external validation. He builds his narrative solely through his actions on the court. And the level of consistency is stunning, because this is not a 1 or 2 game lucky streak. Night after night, box score after box score, his output remains unequivocally elite. That is why when you watch a Nuggets game this season, you are witnessing more than just basketball. You are observing a master blueprint of dominance. High IQ passing, superb rebounding, clinical finishing, intelligent ball movement, and total pace control. Everything coming together flawlessly. This specific kind of dominance, built on advanced statistics, undeniable team impact, relentless consistency, and zero theatrics, is the type that automatically makes you a candidate for the GOAT debate, and one that is validated by the GOAT himself. This level of mastery, efficiency, and dominance has been growing steadily for years. When you analyze his full career achievements, that is when you fully grasp the weight of MJ's comment, because Jokic has compiled a resume that looks like someone is speedrunning greatness. Let us start with the hardware. Jokic is a 3-time MVP, winning in 2020, 2021, and 2023. And everyone who watched him in 2024 knows definitively he should have won a 4th. But that's not all. In 2022, he averaged 24.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 9.8 assists with a 63% true shooting score. He single-handedly propelled Denver to the top of the standings and led the league in numerous advanced statistical categories. But the truly wild part is that the MVP awards aren't even the highlight of his career. They are merely the opening statement. Because then we arrive at the 2023 NBA Championship, and this is where the resume goes completely nuclear. Jokic did not just secure a ring, he went on one of the most phenomenal postseason runs ever recorded. Across the entire playoffs, he averaged 30 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 9.5 assists on absolutely ridiculous efficiency. In the finals, he elevated his game again, averaging 30.2 points, 14 rebounds, and 7.2 assists, shooting 58% against an elite Miami defense, with Erik Spoelstra deploying every complex coverage known to man. They blitzed him, trapped him, and executed every humanly possible tactic, but none of it mattered. He dominated the series as if the NBA was made exclusively for him. And if you suspect that was just a single phenomenal summer run, his career playoff resume is somehow even more insane. Jokic's postseason averages hover around 27.7 points, 12.0 rebounds, and 7.5 assists on 60% true shooting. Those numbers place him directly alongside peak LeBron, but here's the crucial difference. He is achieving this dominance with superior efficiency. He is dominating purely through IQ, soft touch, impeccable timing, and feel for the game. That is what makes this run feel unreal. Oh, and as a footnote, he swept the Lakers twice in 2023 and 2024 with LeBron on the court. He sent that high-profile team home as if it were nothing more than a routine task. In 2023, he averaged 27.8 points, 14.5 rebounds, and 11.8 assists, making Anthony Davis look completely lost on defense. But the domination extends beyond the Lakers. Jokic has systematically dismantled every top 5 defense he has encountered. He neutralized Minnesota's so-called Twin Towers, Rudy Gobert, a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, and Karl Anthony Towns, plus Jaden McDaniels, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. The Phoenix Suns with KD and Booker, the Heat, the Clippers, the Suns, whoever lined up against him, none of them possessed the personnel or the necessary tactics to effectively slow him down. He is the only superstar who compels opposing coaches to completely rewrite their entire playoff defensive game plan every single round. You can't prepare for Jokic, you can only decide which part of your defense he is going to utterly ruin.
And then we come to the efficiency, which is arguably the most terrifying part of his game. Jokic has posted multiple seasons shooting 63% to 68% true shooting, while simultaneously averaging 25 to 30+ points. That statistical combination alone is insane, but then add in 8 to 10 assists, 12 rebounds, and the fact that he leads the league in advanced metrics almost every season. There has never been a center who combined the scoring of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the passing of John Stockton, the rebounding of Tim Duncan, and the all-around control of Magic Johnson, all at once, not one. And if you believe this is simply exaggerated hype, here are just a few of the records he holds. 1. He holds the record for the most triple-doubles ever by a center. 2. He has the most triple-doubles in a single postseason by a center. 3. He is the first center in NBA history to average a triple-double for an entire season. 4. He holds the highest playoff assist average ever for a center. 5. He boasts the best playoff true shooting percentage for a team's primary option in the modern stats era. 6. He is the only player ever to record multiple 30-point, 20-rebound, 10-assist games in the playoffs. To construct a resume strong enough to make Michael Jordan stop, acknowledge, and declare, yeah, this guy might actually be next, has to be one of the greatest achievements possible for any modern player. And guess what? Jokic still has years left, as he's currently right in the middle of his prime. All of this is breathtakingly impressive, but how does a player evolve into this kind of legend? To comprehend the story behind such greatness, we must rewind way back to a small town in Serbia, a childhood spent with horses, and a humble upbringing that never once sought the spotlight. He was born on February 19, 1995, in Sombor, a quiet town in northern Serbia. Growing up, he shared a small 2-bedroom apartment with his parents, his grandmother, and his 2 older brothers. His brothers, older by more than a decade, played basketball, and young Nikola spent countless hours tagging along, playing pickup games, and slowly absorbing the fundamental rhythm in court spacing. But basketball was not the center of his universe back then. From a very early age, he was utterly devoted to something completely different: horses. His father, Branislav Jokic, operated a small horse stable outside Sombor. Nikola spent his mornings cleaning out stalls, walking the horses, riding, anything to stay close to that simple, grounded life. In fact, even when people around him started recognizing his potential in basketball, he sometimes told his father he wanted to become a professional horseman, not an NBA star. But his father wisely told him, become a basketball player first, and later you'll become a great horseman. That modest, grounded upbringing shaped more than just his character. It forged his unique perspective. For him, success has always been rooted in quiet, consistent work, discipline, and patience.
But here is where his path to the NBA takes a strange turn and dramatically illustrates how different his journey was compared to the typical star pipeline. He had been bouncing between smaller Serbian clubs, honing basic fundamentals, physically maturing, and absorbing the subtleties of the game. At 19 in the 2014 NBA draft, he was selected 41st overall by the Denver Nuggets. But unlike the top draft picks who were backed by massive scouting reports, marketing hype, and pre-draft documentaries, his name didn't even get announced live. The pick was announced during a commercial break while a Taco Bell advertisement played on ESPN.
Two things you only dreamed would come together. A delicious cheesy quesadilla.
For most people, that moment would have been deeply humiliating. But for Nikola, it merely intensified his inner drive, much like the way MJ harnessed every instance of disrespect or undervaluation. No wonder Jokic is now earning the explicit approval of Michael Jordan. When he initially arrived in Denver, he was far from the physically dominant athlete we observe today. By his own admission, he struggled significantly with fundamental strength. In past interviews, he has joked about being the player who could barely maintain a plank position without almost collapsing. But instead of retreating in frustration, he fully committed to the struggle, embracing the challenge by tirelessly learning, improving, and fundamentally evolving. As his physical frame transformed, so did his playing style, shifting from relying on raw size to masterful, refined skill. Crucially, he never severed the connection to his roots. Back in his hometown of Sombor, he recently purchased a stable named after his first racehorse, Dreamcatcher. He has even spoken openly about his desire to ultimately retire, return home permanently, and dedicate his time to working with horses full-time. That is the profound hidden element of his story. Horse racing is not a mere pastime for Jokic. It provides a direct window into his life philosophy and his approach to basketball. It revolves around unwavering patience, clinical precision, and maintaining absolute composure under extreme pressure. It is a process of quiet, consistent effort demanding discipline and long-term planning, entirely free of flashy theatrics. And if you observe him directing a high-stakes playoff game, it is the exact same mindset in action. That humble upbringing forged him into the ultimate anti-celebrity superstar. In fact, when he finally secured the 2023 NBA championship and was named Finals MVP, this was his remarkably subdued reaction.
And now you are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
Immediately after that, he flew directly back to Serbia so he could check on his horses. Now contrast that profoundly simple reaction with the typical journey of an American prodigy saturated with hype. Athletes like LeBron stepped into high school already encircled by lucrative brand deals, expensive flashy clothes, and relentless media attention. And this stark comparison brings us to another massive revelation MJ delivered. Jordan is clearly aiming serious criticism, and we all know precisely who his target is. But the central question remains, is he actually wrong?
While others chase fame, Jokic chases greatness. That's a real GOAT.
Consider this reality. LeBron has been a non-stop media circus since his high school days. Cameras constantly shadowed him, he received national TV coverage, and brand endorsements materialized before he ever signed an NBA contract. People were giving him cars and houses even before he stepped onto a professional court. It is undeniable. Drama and relentless camera attention are LeBron's specialty. That starkly contrasts with Nikola Jokic, who is LeBron's exact opposite in every measurable sense. Jokic was drafted 41st overall, arrived quietly, committed to tireless work, and slowly transformed the Nuggets from an average team into one of the West's premier powerhouses. LeBron conversely fled the Cavaliers to join a pre-existing super team in order to secure championships. Thus, MJ's message is clear. Chasing fame and self-declaring the GOAT title does not make it true. And let us be honest, Jordan is completely right. If you ignore the noise from social media and critically analyze the raw statistics and context, Jokic is not merely a great player, he is fundamentally reshaping the game. All right, let us begin with peak impact. I mean pure statistical dominance, not highlight compilations. Jokic's highest player efficiency rating was an astonishing 31.3 in the 2020-21 season, while LeBron's career best PER is 30. How about true shooting percentage, TSP? Jokic's peak was 65.1% that season. LeBron's true shooting peak was 58.6%. This signifies that Jokic is 6.5% more efficient per shot while simultaneously absorbing center-level defensive pressure. What about box plus minus? BPM reveals precisely how much a player influences the game every second they are active. Nikola reached a peak of plus 10.4, whereas LeBron's best is plus 9.7. Therefore, even at LeBron's absolute career best, Nikola still influences the game more significantly. This is astounding considering Jokic does not rely on blistering speed or raw athleticism as LeBron often does. And here's another jaw-dropping factor. Jokic has never required another superstar beside him. Recall the 2022 season. Even without Jamal Murray out with injury, Nikola still carried Denver to the second-best record in the West, helped turn Michael Porter Jr. into a legitimate star, and essentially ran the team as if he owned every share. And it is not just Porter. All of his current and former teammates readily admit what a dominant force he is on the court and how profoundly he elevates the performance of every player around him. In fact, Gilbert Arenas once openly stated he would choose Jokic over players like Giannis, Curry, or Wembanyama.
You're going to go Jokic.
You have to.
In the whole league, Jokic over Giannis, Jokic over Wemby, Jokic over Curry, Jokic over, like the only...
And the influence goes beyond his own team. Even Draymond Green, who was his fierce opponent at the time, publicly expressed gratitude to Jokic for directly helping him improve his own game.
I just told him, thank you for making me better. It's absolutely incredible to play against a guy like that. Incredible talent. Just told him, thank you for making me better.
But LeBron, he operates by a completely different script. He consistently requires the presence of other superstars to uplift his own performance. Look back at the Lakers' 2021-22 season. Anthony Davis was frequently absent, and the Lakers were instantly drowning. Even more recently, they needed to acquire major talents like D'Angelo Russell and even had to secure Luka Doncic this year just to get the offense functioning properly. Remove the co-stars, and LeBron's shine begins to dim. So when you analyze all the components, peak efficiency, cutting-edge advanced metrics, playoff dominance, the ability to break down elite defenses, elevating teammates, and clutch consistency, Nikola possesses every required tool, while LeBron offers flashy high points, 2 decades of longevity, theatrical flair, and forcing everyone to declare him the greatest. But if you have been watching the NBA for a substantial period, you understand that raw longevity is not the same as pure dominance. Marketing certainly does not equate to genuine respect from veteran legends, and MJ stated it clearly and powerfully. Jokic is a superior candidate for the greatest of all time title compared to LeBron. However, if you remain unconvinced, simply dedicate some time to observing Jokic play. Watch him direct the fast break, meticulously orchestrate the half-court offense, effortlessly drop triple-doubles with mind-boggling efficiency, systematically dismantle entire defenses, and then observe LeBron. Ask yourself who is the superior player. And if you still need final assistance making up your mind, here is the opinion of Joel Embiid, a dominant center in his own right.
We're also dying to know what you two asked each other and said to each other during that last hug.
I just thought him as the best player in the league.
Kevin Durant took the praise a massive step further, declaring Jokic not just the preeminent player operating today, but also one of the top 10 greatest athletes the league has ever featured.
We weathered the storm all night. They're a physical team. They got arguably the best player in the world and top 10 player of all time in Jokic.
Furthermore, there's the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, a 2-time MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, who openly lauded Jokic for his extraordinary basketball IQ. Giannis stated that Jokic plays the game with flawless correctness and unfailingly elevates the performance of every teammate surrounding him.
And yeah, man, he just plays the game that way. He's such a smart guy, great guy, and he plays for his teammates, and his teammates play for him.
Dirk Nowitzki has also stepped forward, fully endorsing the discussion by flatly declaring Jokic the best player currently active in the world.
But I want to know what you think about when you see Joker play.
You really got to say that he's maybe arguably the best player in the world.
When you gather all these prominent voices, you realize this is not just random personal admiration. It is a clear, consistent pattern. It is the league's own established hierarchy openly declaring that Nikola is currently the gold standard. He is earning genuine respect from the people who hold the true influence in the NBA. And that fact, more than any highlight reel or stat sheet, confirms why the crown is definitively shifting to Jokic. LeBron constantly requires the spotlight to feel relevant, almost as if he needs external confirmation that he is still a superstar. From his unconventional movies to his relentless Instagram posts and carefully managed public appearances, the man's personal brand dictates his life, and every single move is a manufactured storyline. If it does not appear on screen, it is as if it never occurred for LeBron. He did not pursue greatness, he pursued narrative. And frankly, that manufactured narrative is what much of the media focuses on, not necessarily his core job as a player. Strip away all the flash and suddenly the question surfaces. Would he still maintain this level of relevance if the cameras were not constantly rolling? In sharp contrast, Nikola has secured MJ's backing, and it is crucial to understand that MJ does not offer public praise lightly. The comparison between the two is not even close. One player built a brand first, hoping the victories would follow. The other built a foundation of winning first, and the brand is merely a side effect. That fundamental difference is precisely why you hear Giannis, KD, and even Dirk now calling him the best player active in the world. Alright, now I know some LeBron fans are inevitably going to storm the comments to raise their usual points, so let us address them before they even post. First off, longevity. Yes, LeBron has maintained an extraordinary presence for a very long time, but here we are discussing peak, undeniable dominance. Nikola does not require 2 decades to establish his elite status. He is fundamentally rewriting what a center is capable of achieving right now. LeBron may stretch his greatness across 20 years, but Jokic has achieved the same level of impact in half the time, meaning he still has over 10 years left in the NBA to significantly add to his accomplishments. Then there is the scoring record argument. LeBron is undoubtedly accumulating points, but much of that comes with context. LeBron's greatest and arguably his only truly significant asset is his physical athleticism. Plus, he primarily plays a forward position. Nikola, however, is scoring with absurd efficiency while occupying the center position and simultaneously maintaining insane assist numbers. His passing efficiency in 2022-23, for instance, was among highest ever recorded for a center in NBA history. While LeBron's playmaking depends largely on his athletic advantage, Nikola's core advantage is precision, IQ, and court vision, not just speed and raw power. And people frequently bring up the number of championship rings, but they often overlook that LeBron secured his rings by leapfrogging from one ready-made super team to the next, demonstrating no real sense of loyalty or organizational commitment. Nikola, conversely, is still early in his prime. He has already secured a championship, a finals MVP, and multiple MVPs, achieving this without any other superstar and remaining fiercely loyal to the team that originally drafted him. If the Nuggets sustain this current trajectory, Jokic would unequivocally surpass LeBron's championship hardware. Now, some will inevitably call Nikola boring because he avoids all the media hype and theatrical antics, but here's the essential distinction. Effectiveness beats flash every single time, and his humility simply reinforces how supremely confident he is in his own skills. The fact that MJ literally singled him out as the player chasing greatness over mere fame, that is a level of validation that simply cannot be purchased. So yes, LeBron fans can loudly proclaim longevity, scoring milestones, and highlight reels all day long, but if you compare both players honestly and realistically, the answer is staring you right in the face. And that is the main takeaway from this entire conversation. Nikola Jokic is not merely stacking up statistics, he is quietly dismantling every single expectation and proving that peak brilliance and relentless dedication conquer hype every single time.